Okay, everybody, welcome to Creating Royalties bi-weekly Thursday call. This is going to be a jam-packed call. Renee Edmond here out of Houston, Texas. But I suggest that you get your pen and paper ready because we do have a very special guest that's going to be on this call tonight, and you want to take notes. So it's going to be a lot of things that everybody's been wanting to know about, which is telesales, virtual sales, and how to do it effectively. So please stay tuned. I can already tell you that this call will probably go over time today, but it's going to be jam-packed with lots of valuable information. But let's get started with what we normally do, which is the numbers, and let's see what we're standing. This is through the second week of November. Okay, so let me just pull that up. Where did I have that pulled up? That is the question. Okay, good deal. So I just want to start with the highlighted people here because anything highlighted in green means that this is the first paid business that they've gotten so far since they've started. So congratulations to Lynn Ann at $1,694 for her first policy sold, and Darnicia at $2,147 out of Chicago. So congratulations for the two brand new writers on the team, but I'm going to kind of start, let's see, at the top. Let's start at top 20. So I'm just going to kind of work my way up. So Kimberly Whitman at $1,961. Mary Lou at $2,075. Darnicia already up there at number 18 with her $2,147. Peter Hernandez at $2,152. Chriselle at $2,284. JB, Uncle JB, Coach JB, Joseph Bradley, $2,374. Dre Bay at $2,633. Kyle at $2,657. Brandy Hart recently went full time with us at $3,504. This is again the second week of the month. Myself at $3,644. Yolanda Rodriguez, always leading from the front out of Pennsylvania at $4,121. Miss Jeanette Morales at $4,506. Sabe Ellis, another person who just went full time. So I'm excited to see big things come from her at $4,525. Jamila and Vosh Johnson at $4,556. Samika Williams, $4,667. And so these people, if we keep up this pace here, this is all over 5,000, definitely on pace to have at least $15,000, $20,000 month this month. Michael at $5,008. Jean Paul already at number 4, brand new. He's like our rookie right now, $5,462, and so is Michael. Latrace Wilson, another person who said forget about her job and went full time, $6,231. I see that's definitely paying off for you. And Kelly Fuentes, part-time, $9,382. And of course, Chantel Mark always leading from the front at $16,263. So congratulations, everybody that went out there and protected some families. And for the second week, we're at $113,098 as a team. So congrats to everybody who went out there, put in some work, and got some families protected. So, okay. There we go. All right. So, but what I want to do just to start off the call, a lot of us went to Arizona and we stayed in an amazing house, you guys. This house was about 8,200 square feet. Just when you thought you saw the whole house, there was more house. And they even had 2 guest houses that had full kitchens in them. I was just blown away, like goals, right? But aside from the house and the community, just being able to spend time with teammates that did whatever it took in order to get out there to this event. It was just mind-blowing to see how fast that we're growing as a company. There was about 3,000 people out there. The training was hosted by FFL America. And I'm sure you guys have been on all of those training calls if you're plugged into YouTube like most of us and getting all those nuggets every day. So it's just exciting to be around a team that's blowing up. and getting all those nuggets from those trainers. But there was a couple of people there that I do want to, if you could just unmute yourself and share some of the takeaways that you've had. And I'm just going to call you out. So Dre, can you be the first? And on top of that, guys, like I love to see faces. Like I'm looking around the room right now and I want to see these little icons. I feel like I'm talking to myself. So please, and let's see some faces. Okay. So Dre, if you could unmute yourself there, you're muted.
Yo.
Yeah, and just share, your experience and what are your takeaways from this weekend?
My experience was wonderful. First of all, I hope everybody's having an excellent night. Hopefully you had a great week helping some families and you have many more to come. Over this past weekend, it was great to be with family and develop new family. I got a chance to know a lot of people, got a chance to network with a lot of people. It's interesting how you see certain people who are making millions and you could actually walk up to those people and get their phone numbers and network with them and have them in your Rolodex. So just in case you need something, they're open to picking up the phone for you. I end up meeting a lot of people, came home with a lot of different nuggets, especially a few takeaways as far as just building a business, reaching for integrity. What else? How to scale. You actually had a lot of different people come on and talk about various different perspectives individually from the in-home and how to start up with the in-home to Zoom meetings, to how to start up with the Zoom meeting, to telesale and how to start up and successfully complete telesale. So it was actually a great investment in the mind and in the heart. So I took a lot of things to heart, and I'm thankful that I was invited.
Yeah, I was happy to be there with you. And you guys, if you haven't already noticed, so if you go into the Slack chat, Dre has, oh my gosh, please go look in the Slack chat. You posted it under the script channel, correct? And it's some keynotes if you're an Apple user, or some PowerPoint presentations that are in there that you could go ahead and snatch off of our Slack. But if you're brand new, or even if you're not, especially if you have new people that you even want to get started, Dre has systematically put in the process of what you need to do, from your scripts to the presentation in home to did you also post the flow of what sorry guys, the flow for that you sent me last night on, what carriers to go with first, and if they get declined for this, or if they have this going on? Did you post that one yet or no?
Yeah, so I actually placed individual PDFs, but if you go in there, you'll see like a link in our scripts channel in the Slack. It's actually a Google link. And once you click that Google link, you'll have access to all of the updated scripts, because some of the scripts that I placed in Slack had a few errors in it. But all of the scripts that are in the Google file have been completely refurbished with all of the errors taken out of them. You have an objection sheet, because I know a lot of people struggle with certain objections. So to be able to overcome objections while you're on the phone, that's really the bread and butter of the phone call. Once you're able to smoothly navigate those, you're in the home. So I did that as well. If you go in there, you will see a folder that actually helps out with underwriting, from mind maps on FEX and mortgage protection, to basically just an outline of basically every carrier and what they qualify and what would disqualify. It's very comprehensive. And if you go in there, hello?
No, I was saying, yes, it's very, I encourage everybody to please check these links out and download it. I think they'd be blown away the way that I was.
Yeah, so, and as far as everything else, it's just mind mapped out. So, I'm a visual person. Even though I can read a script and just, go down the thing, I know that certain people, they learn visually in order to understand the flow of a thought process. So everything is bubble mapped out, kind of mind mapped, so that when you read the script, you clearly have a flow of thought to where you can see, okay, where do I go next? So I think that it would be very helpful, especially when you guys decide to hire and recruit people. All of your new people would have an advantage, especially jumping on the phone and performing a hybrid or telesale. as well as just booking it in home. So.
Right. And also Weena is going to be posting this on our actual website here pretty soon. So she's snatching all of those things out of your Google Drive. So we have access to it at all times, just on our website. So you guys be taking a look at that. So thank you so much for your hard work, Dre, and sharing that and adding so much value to all of us. Next person. Hey, Daryl, are you there? Can you unmute yourself?
Hey, what's up?
Okay, there you are. Okay, cool. So if you would just share like one of your takeaways or what you got from being at Phoenix this weekend with over 3,000 people. And it was kind of crazy because you were one of those, this was your very first event. And when they asked that question in the room, you know, how many people is this their first time? And I could say that at least 60-70% of that room was brand new for the first time. So for you being brand new, what was that experience like for you and what did you take away?
Honestly, like it was so much to take in. I mean, you have so many speakers at a high caliber that are speaking constantly. Like it's just a nonstop ride, and it's just full of just very valuable information. So definitely, if you're not registered for Miami, I would suggest that you do get registered for Miami. But also, one of my biggest takeaways for me, it was really the numbers. So the way like I said, so many speakers, but I forgot the guy who said it, but it was the breakdown of the thirds when it went from a third of the numbers are going to say yes, a third of the numbers are going to say no, and a third of them are going to be based on your skill set, whether they say yes or no. So even when I was going through my dials today, like I'm literally like writing down, like marking down like the no's, how many no's I got, the yeses, and the ones that were kind of based on my skill set and where I could have improved in order to turn them to the no's into a yes. So those are the small nuances that these events are able to help towards your business. And then also you're able to find someone that is a high income earner and the ones who resonate with you, just like what Dre was saying, like these guys are approachable. It's not like they're looking down on you. It's like, oh, you're not a part of my agency or you're not a part of my team. Like they are open to helping you and they actually mean it. And they don't mind giving out their phone number. So when we're coming to an environment like that, I mean, it's really just, it's a lot to take in. So definitely if you're not registered for Miami, you got to get there.
Absolutely. So Miami is going to be February. That's the annual convention, you guys. It's literally in a stadium right now. As of now, we have 10,000 people registered for this event and it's free. So Daryl can attest to this. And there's a lot of other people in this room that we've done other things together. And, you know, normally we're paying $100 up to $600 per training that we're normally going to. So to be able to be around so many multimillionaires and so many people who've already been succeeding at a very, very high level, and there are no secrets here, and they're telling you step for step their blueprint on how they made it happen, and they're giving it to you for free. So these events cost millions of dollars to put on, okay? And they're not charging you a cent. And that's been the culture of our company. So we're very blessed to be a part of FFL and to have access to things like this at no cost. And one more person I want to ask if you could unmute yourself, Ms. Sabay Ellis.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hey. So you were there too this weekend. So if you could just kind of share, I keep saying this weekend, it was actually on Monday. So if you could just kind of share one of your takeaways, and I know you recently went full time with us too. So, and you're already rocking in the room. So just kind of share what you learned or what you took away from the event.
Okay, well, first of all, it was so informative. I took a zillion notes and videos, and somehow if I can share that in the group, I will. But basically, even though I've been doing this for 9 months now, I realize every time that I go to a new one, you get more insight. You learn so much more. As they mentioned, they shared down to how your mindset needs to be going into an appointment, as well as your attitude and how you connect with the client. You must have structure. It was just, everything about it was amazing. I highly recommend that everyone continues to stay plugged in and use all those tools, because you can never learn enough about it. And because it's an ever-changing environment in our world, so it's important that you try telesales, you try knocking on the door. There's so many avenues to be successful. And as mentioned, anybody can do this. And I've made the decision to go full time with this, and I'm ready to be on top. And even Liz, she said just a couple sentences to me because I never wanted to recruit before. But she said, don't look at it like you're recruiting, look at it like you're providing an opportunity and being a blessing to someone just to share the opportunity. So from that, I have 2 people actually listening to this call because I shared that this week.
That's awesome. Yeah, no. Yeah, like Dre's applauding. I am too. Like you definitely want to share this opportunity. Don't be a secret agent. I know I was at the very beginning, but I started to feel very, very selfish knowing that there's so many other people that are hurting, that are looking for something different, and they're miserable at their jobs. And, you know, it's amazing that this opportunity is completely limitless. You could create whatever you want to create here. It's just a matter of you putting in the work. So a lot of people are looking for exactly what you have. So go be that blessing to somebody else. So one of the things that we did while we were in the house too is that we created a buddy system. Okay, so anybody that was not in the house, you are looking for a buddy or somebody to hold you accountable, we created goals that will stretch you to the next level, so we could be able to finish December strong. If you're interested in having somebody, and I'll kind of tell you the rules of engagement with this, but not on this call, but what I want you to do is just text me if that's what you want to do. Actually, I'm going to put my phone number right here in the chat. Let's do that right now. So 832-216-2865, if you don't already have that. And text me if you need an accountability partner, and anybody that does that, I'll pair you up with somebody kind of like randomly. It's definitely not somebody that you're going to be comfortable with, because it's about getting uncomfortable. Now I'll share with you guys privately the rules of engagement on what we're doing in this challenge. Also for February. Now, I don't know if you guys saw it on Instagram and all of this, the things that we were posting on social media about this house, right? But the rules for the next house in Miami, because there will be a next house, okay? And it's, aside from the aesthetics of being in somewhere so beautiful, it's about the connectedness that you have with the rest of the team and the people. And we all literally just kind of sat around and, you know, share different things that we're going through, experiencing in the business. And it's amazing how much you can learn just from being in the house with the rest of your peers that are doing exactly what you're doing, struggling the way that you're struggling, overcoming challenges that you have too. And it's very motivating, and it's inspiring to be around the group of people. So definitely want to plug in and get connected with people. But the rules of engagement is this. So for the month of December and January, okay, you have got to hit, and I'm not saying both months, but at least one month, okay, at least hit $20,000 in personal production for that IP report in order to come into that house, okay? So that house that we're doing in Miami is going to be a 20K producer house. So you've got to hit that number on the IP report in order to qualify to be there. So yeah, I know there's a lot of people that I know are going to be in this house because they said so, and they've made the commitment to do that, and they're going to stretch. And I'm just excited to see what this next month is going to look like for everyone. But without further ado, let me see, is Joseph on this call right now? Or is he still in a home? JB. Hold on, y'all, I'm looking, let me see. I think JB is still in a home. Okay, well, we got about 10 more minutes. Let me see. Okay, so I see some people who are looking for some buddies, so that's good. All right, so let's see. Because I think JB is in a home, and our guest speaker is going to be on here in the next 10 minutes. Okay. So questions. So does anybody have any questions that they have, anything that they've been going through, or something that they'd like to share? Chantel says go over the goal challenges. No. Are you talking
I have
about
a
for the,
question.
yeah, who's that?
Sorry. This is Inez. I know I haven't changed my name thing. I gotta
Oh,
change it.
Pinks. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Inez.
sorry.
Uh-huh.
The thing that you're talking about, so I just started, I just got my license. So the buddy thing that you're talking about, could I have something like that even though I just
You
started?
could absolutely have a buddy. So
Okay.
text me, because there's some people that because people are texting about it. Good. I love this. But you guys, I can't tell you the rules until you create your goals. Okay. So I'll pair you up with a buddy, but go ahead and start thinking about exactly what you want to achieve. And it has to be something that stretches you and something that is attainable, but still makes you have to go somewhere that you've never been before. So if it's your very first month, whatever that goal looks like, are you part-time or full-time?
I'll be full-time.
You'll be full-time. Okay. So full-time agents here typically run about 30 to 40 appointments per week. Okay. So I like to do things based on activity, but this is definitely something where you could either base your challenges on activity. You could base your goals set on issue paid production as far as your numbers and how many families you're out there protecting, but in a dollar amount. And so, oh, good, he's finishing up. So it's going to be, I'll tell you the rules of engagement afterwards, but just go ahead and think about what you want right now, what you want to achieve in your first month and what that looks like for you. There's a lot of people that come out here and crush it, right? So it's not out of this world to go out and do 10K, 15K, even 20K in your first month, because it's been done over and over and over again. But especially pairing up with somebody who's already done it too, just depending on who else is accepting these challenges, it's going to be kind of fun. I will say you will be giving up something to get some things that you've never had. So this is going to be fun. So text me if you haven't already, and let me make sure that I have your number, and all the people that are texting me now, I'll definitely pair you up with someone.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay, Gavin, you want 20K, you could do 20K. You got to do 20K to get into the next house too.
I got it.
All right, cool. So who else? Anybody else have any questions about anything? Because I'm just waiting on our guest speaker to get on the call. Come on, guys. There's a lot of y'all on here. Anybody have any challenges, struggling with anything in home, anything over the phone, setting appointments? Has anybody been actively selling telesales, since that's what our main topic is going to be for the night? Lots of buddies. And I hope everybody has pen and paper, because the next 30 minutes of this call is going to be very, very enlightening, especially for me.
Hey, Renee.
Yes.
So before they get on, I did 2 like hybrid telesales today. I didn't
awesome.
they didn't fall through, but basically they didn't get anything, but I learned a lot of lessons. One person, they couldn't buy anything because everything was too pricey for them. And the other person, I noticed that I had rushed the steps, so I think that as far as telesales, I think from what I experienced today is actually beautiful. It's actually beautiful. People tend to want to hear you out right then and there, especially if they're in a quiet place. It's just more so before you give them the price, you really have to get their why out. Like there's an importance of getting their why out. If you don't get their why out, then when you give them that, I've noticed when you give them those numbers as far as the prices, they hang up. So it's an interesting experience, but I've enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I think that it's a lot easier for people to get distracted on telesales. So your structure has to be on point, and I'm very eager to learn from Brandon when he gets on this call. Somebody else was asking, Talia, you were asking how long you typically spend in a home. for an appointment time, correct? So, and just kind of, if you're brand new and you're wanting to go full time, what our typical schedule looks like here at FFL, of course, this is your own business. You can run it how you want to, but what we typically do just to help everybody create some structure is that on Monday, we're dialing all day. We're setting appointments for Tuesday, Wednesday, and usually it's anywhere from 8 to 10 appointments per day on your run days. Okay. So Monday you're dialing for Tuesday, Wednesday, never, ever book appointments past 48 hours because it'll increase your rate of no shows dramatically. So make sure if you're dialing Monday, you're only booking Tuesday, Wednesday. And then on Thursday, you're dialing all day to set appointments for Friday, Saturday. Some people are also running on Sunday. So typically 8 to 10 appointments per day, depending on how big the county is that you're running, makes a difference too. But I will say if you're brand new, just getting out into the field, limit it to around 6 to 8 appointments, just until you kind of get a hang of the different applications, logging in, making sure that you know how the flow, because it kind of trips you up at the beginning. So until you get very comfortable with those applications through all the different carriers, and make sure you guys, please, because you don't have to know all the products at all when you're getting started. You don't have to know everything. Once you get into the home, you're able to fill out that final expense worksheet. You're going to call anybody on this team. You're going to call the agent hotline, and you're going to go over the assessment that you've taken from the client in the home. And then we'll let you know, hey, okay, this client is going to be most appropriate for Aetna, or this client will be most appropriate for Americo CBO 100. So whatever application that I'm telling you to run, you should have already logged into the carrier website. You know how to at least access the e-app. So you're not fumbling trying to find your passwords and stuff in front of the clients, okay? So at least know how to log into your carriers and find where that e-app is, because every website is set up completely different. I will say that Americo has a demo version where you could go in and you could practice writing a fake person in the demo version. So play with it, be prepared. And also I think Aetna has a sandbox that you could go in and play with their applications as well to write a fake client. So you just have some practice, okay? What else? Okay,
I have
so
another
cool.
question.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, I have a lot of questions.
No, not at all.
And I don't know if this is a question for this call, but I went to the meeting in Houston and I heard like somebody talking about using like an app to make phone calls, but should I just get like a phone like myself? Because do people call you back, or do y'all get calls back, or no?
Absolutely. Oh, and I don't think I answered Talia's question all the way either. I got sidetracked,
Oh,
but
go ahead. I'm sorry.
typically, sorry, no, I'll get that. But so Talia, usually 30 to 45 minutes in the home with a client when you're proficient. At the beginning though, I've seen agents in a home with a client for an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, just because they don't know what they're doing just quite yet. So you're kind of tripping through the applications and trying to figure it out. Which is totally normal, but it's a learning experience. And you got to remember that the person in front of you, you're the licensed agent, you know more than they do, and they have no idea that you're messing up. They never know, okay? Some people, I've had somebody go in a house on their very first day and the client was like, wow, you must have been doing this a long time. And they were completely clueless as to what they were doing. So you'll figure that out over time. But back to your question, Inez, which was, see, I forgot that fast. I'm a little ADD.
It's okay. I was just wondering if like I should get like a phone, because I didn't know. I heard them about the app, but on the
right.
I didn't even look into the app yet, but I was wondering if you guys get like callbacks. So y'all are calling
Absolutely.
so much. I'm sure you would want a number to have them call you back, right?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I use Sideline. Sideline is another app I pay about $10 a month for. And what Sideline does too is that not only does it keep my own personal number private, but when the client is calling back, because while you're dialing, a bunch of people are going to call back because they're wondering who called them 3 times in a row, right? And so then that way I know not to answer that call unless I have that lead information in front of me, because I never want to answer the phone with the client calling me. And I'm like, oh yeah, hi. Yeah, what's your name? I know I was calling you because you were asking for some information on insurance, but what was your name again? And then you're trying to find it. So I let it ring through my Sideline, and then I look that client up, and I'm able to find them on, my phone burner app or whatever it is I'm using to pull that lead before I answer the phone. Also with Sideline, I like to change my phone number every single time I'm dialing for a different county. So if I'm taking a travel trip and I'm going to Louisiana, I make sure that I change my area code to Louisiana, whatever area that I'm in. to that local number, because I always say that I'm the local person here, and I want them to see that on the phone too. So sideline $10 a month basically, and you could change your number up to every 24 hours on that line too.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. No worries. So JB, do I have Joseph Bradley back on this call yet?
Yeah, I'm on. Can you hear me?
Hey, there you are, man of the hour. So JB has been having some quite a bit of success with the dialing. And again, he was with us in Phoenix, Arizona, and got to really connect with some of the leaders that have been, oh my goodness, crushing it in telesales. And literally, these are the people that we've been learning from virtually, just from YouTube, and listening to their calls. And do we have our guest speaker on?
So he's in the same situation as me. He's finishing up, except he's finishing up with some agents. So he'll be on in just a few minutes. He just sent me a message.
Perfect.
And but I can do whatever you need me to do right now.
Yeah, so just from you, because you have been crushing it on the phones already, and this is definitely somebody that we've been learning from. So if I could just get you to kind of talk about what you've learned this weekend and the way that you've been able to connect with this group out in Phoenix, and be in a different setting and be in a different office. So that's definitely another plus of having work spots and being able to go into any FFL office anywhere in the US and be around such incredible leaders in this company, and just what you picked up from there. And I'll let you go more into depth once you're talking to him, but if you could just kind of share your own takeaways from the event and what you learned, and where we're going with this as far as the telesales.
Yeah, so like I said, initially, the only reason why I got started was because I got sick. And yeah, I got sick. When we first start something, we just want to learn every bit of it that we can. So it was one thing to see the stuff on video and get the stuff on YouTube and everything like that, but to actually get in the mix with the people who really are doing it on a super high level made a huge difference. There were a lot of little tiny pieces that were missing, and I didn't realize how small those pieces were, but how significant they were as well. So being able to actually exchange with Josh and Brent, I call it the dialing pool that they have in Phoenix, it made a significant difference because I was able to kind of see I was able to get the reason behind the order of things, because the order in which we do things over the phone is different than the order in which we do things in the house. So I was able to ask certain questions, like for instance, they collect the medical information and stuff before they collect the Y, and that didn't make sense to me. I was like, why would you do that? Why would you not get the Y first? But on the phone, they trust you when you do the professional thing before you do the personal thing. Where in the house, they trust you when you get into their why and stuff and make them cry and make them talk about the person they love. Then they start being honest about their health. So on the phone, it's about 10, 15 minutes, give or take, and that they're looking for. So when you go right into the medical questions and all that, they trust you as a professional, and then they let you into the personal, so just like I said, just a few of the little tiny nuances and the little trinkets that I didn't realize was a big deal, but it really is a big deal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I never thought about it that way. So that's a really good nugget to take away, though. It's the professional before the personal. So I definitely wrote that down. I hope the rest of you guys did as well. And I thought it was really cool for us to be able to connect with people like Brandon, and for you to be able to sit in that office. What was the atmosphere like there? So who all was in the office? What did it look like? Like, what was the atmosphere when you were there working?
It reminded me honestly of Professor X, like X-Men, of the compound with all the mutants, everybody that had powers, because you got Nina Damjanovic there, and Ryan Reynolds there, and Brandon Kitchens, and Josh Williams, and Jamie Cheerio, Brady Paulson. All the people that you see on these YouTube that are crushing it are sitting right there inside, and they're exchanging ideas. And then there's this big podcast room where when they're doing the podcasts, there's they have the audience that can sit back and just ask questions like live, like right then and there. And I used to wonder, like, man, where are the, like, how are people able to ask questions so quick and able to see it? Because they're sitting right there, and people come from all over the country to that office to learn. Blackburn was there. We had her at our Houston event, and but the crazy part about it is everyone just opens up and they just want you to get the information. If you have a question, they'll answer it just like that. And I was learning from people who've been in like a month and a half, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But it was not stupid because we learned.
So a lot of those names that you named, I know if you're brand new, those names probably don't ring a bell. You're like, who are these people? But I mean, he's literally sitting in an office with multiple people who are earning over $100,000 deposited into their account every month. Okay. So to be in that environment with those kind of people, you definitely just want to be a sponge and soak it up and learn. And you're open to go to any WorkSpots office in that app, anywhere in the country, to just sit around and be with winners. Even in our own Houston office, what I've realized that the people who actually come to the office to work on Mondays and Thursdays or any other days of the week that we're there, everybody there are definitely the top income earners always. So yes, you could do this business from anywhere in the world. You could do it from home, but if you're close to an office, just go, because you're going to be around a whole bunch of people who are doing this at a very, very high level, and you have no choice but to just learn. And it shortens your learning curve being around people who are already doing it at a high level. And if you don't have access to an office, I encourage everybody to get on our Zoom dials. Every Mondays and Thursdays, we go all day long. And then there's also some people that dial every single day. And so if Mondays and Thursdays don't work for you, there are also other people. Just ask in the Slack group, hey, is anybody on the phone dialing today? I also want to get on Zoom and jump on. Okay.
Yeah. And that's another thing, talking about dialing every day. Like there's so many ways, because, going out there, you listen to something, you hear something, and then it makes sense and it's truth. But then you experience it a different way, and the whole paradigm shifts. And so I had a paradigm shift while I was out there. Like, my whole thing, and before, I would tell people, well, you definitely want to get good in the house first before you ever try to tackle the phones. But then I'm seeing people that's making $30,000, $40,000 a month, and that's where they started. Never been in insurance before, but they learned on the phone first. That information was not based on valid data. You know what I mean? And one of the things that Brandon told me was, and he'll be on in just a minute. But one of the things that Brandon told me was the learning curve to learn on the phone is the same learning curve if you learned it from the house or if you learned it on the starter, right? But the benefit of someone who wants to do it over the phone versus doing it at home is that they can actually learn it from day one. And if you learn the phone curve, then the in-home curve is not as difficult, because you have that reality, you have that ability to close, because it's much more difficult to close over the phone. But they have agents coming in there closing 2 and 3 policies on their first day dialing, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that we've heard several times is that, before you get on the phones, you need to get good in the home. So to hear it come from somebody else who's already proven that that's not necessarily true is pretty exciting. So brand new people sit in the office and they're making sales on their very first day on the phone. So it's definitely possible. They've proven that it works. And we definitely want to actually, so JB, why don't you just get started with how we go through? I know we've done this before on a call, but there's a lot of brand new people here. But let's talk about the scripts, okay? And how you've kind of, because you've also mastered the script, you've taken things out that wasn't working, added some things that did work. And so let's just start with going over the scripts and how you kind of do that, because you have been very successful over the phone out of necessity.
Okay, so so before I went to Arizona, the benefits center, right? Because I just didn't like it, honestly. But after hearing people do it there, I put it back in my script. So I mean, that's the beautiful thing about scripts. You can, they're peel and stick, they're fluid. So I'll call, I'll say, well, ring ring. Am I doing the script or just talking about it?
Yeah, doing the script.
Hello, Renee.
And you're kind of breaking up a little bit too.
Okay. What about now? What about now? How about
I think
tonight? Can you hear me?
I think it's just because you're driving, but yeah, I understand.
So you can hear me. Okay. Hey, hello, Renee.
Hello.
Hi, Renee. This is Joseph,
Okay.
and I'm calling from the Benefits Center, and I'm actually just calling about a form you filled out online. You were looking for information about the state-regulated life insurance. You put your date of birth as January 19th, 1979. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Am I breaking up?
No, a little bit, but we still hear you pretty good.
Okay. Okay. So perfect. I'll have you off the phone in just a minute. I was calling just to let you know that we did receive your request, and we're processing it, but we're doing everything in one of two ways now. Either way, it takes about 10 or 15 minutes. We can either get this information to you face to face in person, or we can get it via phone call. Which option works best for you, Renee?
Can we just do this over the phone right now?
Yeah, so let me just check my schedule real quick. Okay, so I do have an opening. I have about 45 minutes for my next appointment. So yeah, I can go ahead and squeeze you in right now. You want go ahead and grab a pen and paper so we can get this taken care of. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, just go ahead and take down my information. My name is Joseph Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
And my state license number is 217-6083.
Okay.
And Renee, with that number, you can actually go to the website of the Department of Insurance. I'm like actually talking because I'm not reading. The website of the Department of Insurance, and you can look me up so you can see who I am and what I do. The state just requires that I do that. Okay. Now,
Okay.
so Renee, are you actually sitting down somewhere where you can write numbers for me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. And the email that I have on file here, do you have access to it just in case I send you something while we're on the call? You can get it?
Yeah, sure. It's on my phone.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Now, is this something that you've been looking to set up for a while to get life insurance, or am I the first person you've been able to talk to?
No, you're the first person.
Okay, and just for the record, were you looking for yourself, or you were looking for a family member, someone else as well?
No, it's just for me.
Okay, okay, perfect. Now, do you currently have any life insurance in place right now?
Just through my job.
Okay. Have you ever had personal or private life insurance before?
No.
Have you ever been declined for life insurance?
No.
Okay. Now you said you're working, and are you working full time?
Yes, I'm working full time.
Okay. Okay. All right. And so the way this works is very simple, Renee. Like I said, I'm the broker for the state of Texas, and my job is just to kind of look over all the options and see what's available around the state of Texas. And so the rates are depending on your age, health, and habits. So I'm going to ask you a few health questions, and then once we get through those health questions, that'll give me a real good idea of which companies will decline you and which ones might accept you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And once we get to that point and we'll find something that fits your needs and your budget, then we'll go ahead and put in an application to see if we can get you approved. Now, Renee, unfortunately, the way this works, the only decision we can make tonight is a decision to actually put in an application for request, because until you're approved, you actually can't even buy life insurance. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Okay, so pause real quick. So JB, on the very beginning, you asked me those questions of whether or not I've been shopping for insurance for a while, if I'm working, if I'm just looking for myself. What data why are you collecting that data up front?
Well, because I want to know up front if I'm going to be gathering information for more than one person. But also, when you ask that question, it often puts a seed that, well, yeah, I do want to, I was just looking for myself, but can I do this for my husband too? Or, my sister, or I want to put some of my kids. It gets them thinking about more than just themselves. When eventually that may have been the plan was just for themselves, but it turns into a multiple deal. And, that's led to me writing policies on like five different people on a phone call before, where, one of the consensus initially was that, well, you miss a lot of policies on the phone because you're not actually there with the people. But when you ask that question, a lot of times, I've gotten people that they called on three-way before. I've gotten people that were with them, right? Well, my sister's here now. Can we do something for her too? And so it turns into an insurance party over the phone. It will take longer than the 10 or 15 minutes, but it's basically like, wow, yeah, because if it's important to them and it's important enough for them to want to do it over the phone now, then it's probably important to the people that are around them too, right? Okay.
And then also for the, is this my first time looking at insurance, or if I'm shopping around, is that just to get an idea if I'm a tire kicker or not?
Well, not only if you're a tire kicker, but I did get a chance to talk to Josh and a few other people about this particular part. And the reason why that's important is because, especially with instant leads, somebody who just filled the form out, if they're looking and they're wanting to talk to you, then they're probably going to want to talk to someone else too. And so if this is their first time and you're the first person they talk to, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either, because if they've been looking for a while and they just haven't been able to find something that fits their budget, or they've been getting turned down, then they're more desperate for whatever they can get. But if this is their first time, then they always tend to think that they have more options. And so that's one of the barriers that we're probably going to have to tackle later on, when they say, well, let me just kind of think this over and see what else I can get around, because they don't know that it's hard, right? Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, it does. Total sense. And there's a reason and a rationale for every single one of those questions asked. So I just wanted to be very clear on why. But okay, go back to your script. So
yeah, and they're all filters. Okay, so now once we get to that part where we're actually submitting a request, we are going to need your driver's license or ID information, your social security number, and your banking information, so they can know exactly which, or say, yeah, bank account information, so they can put a payment on file. All right.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'm very comfortable with giving you that information over the phone.
Well, okay, and that's perfectly fine, and that's the reason why we do actually have the option to meet in person. And I do carry all that information with me. But the way it works over the phone, Renee, is before I ask you for anything, you're actually going to get my ID, my driver's license, my state license, along with the carriers that I work with. And like I said, that number that I wrote down, I can actually send you a picture of that. And I'm going to send you a picture of that so you can actually know who I am and that I am who I'm supposed to be. Is that fair? I mean, I can still come to your house and, you know, sit in your face, or, you know, if you're okay, we can just move forward with the phone, whichever one is comfortable for you.
Hey, if you show me yours, I'll show you mine. That's fine.
Okay, perfect. So we'll move forward then, and I'll just go ahead and send this information over to you. You say you do have access to your email right now, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I'm going ahead and send that over to you, and just let me know when you got that. It's coming through right now.
Okay, I got that.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you a few medical questions so we can get you started and get you set up, and then just go through the medical questions, you know. And then after the medical questions, then you go see that first set was the filters, and it was part of the why. Like, it had some of the whys in it, but then after the medical questions, then you get into, well, why did you fill this out, and who's the beneficiary and all this stuff. And they're willing to open up more because it just feels more natural on the phone. I've been talking to you for about 10 minutes now, and you know, they're starting to share some more information. So it feels better. And it's fun.
We're losing you, JB. JB, we're gone, JB. Hey. I'm echoing. JB, you there?
What about now?
Okay, you're back, but we lost you completely.
What was the last thing you heard me say? Hello?
Yeah, okay. No, it was like about the last 10 seconds or so that you were saying, we had went through all the filters, and yeah, we basically went through all the filters. I think that's what you were talking about.
Okay, yeah, so the filters, I'm gonna pull over here. I was actually on the Beltway driving, but the filters before they kind of tap into and plant seeds into the whys, right?
Right.
And then after the medical questions, then the second why, now we can dig deep like we would be in the home. And they start like kind of spilling more about why. And they start talking about their beneficiary and the one who's gonna take, you know, control of everything, and the one who's actually going to be picking the pieces up and putting them together when they pass away. Like, that conversation is a more comfortable when that, like, now that they've opened up about their medical history, they talked about that, and you know, the letdown maybe, or the hope that they can actually get approved in you know, diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever it might be. That's a deal breaker in a lot of people's life insurance. But for us, it's not a deal breaker, right? And so when we get together and we've gone through the medical questions, and now we're going through the why, they understand that they're talking to the one who not who makes the decision, but the one who's negotiating with the ones that, you know, they're trying, it's important to them, it's important to me, but that why fits really, really good after the medical questions over the phone. I know in the
Right.
home it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit in that order in the home. You know, they're kind of more reserved in the home when you start trying to go right into the medical stuff. But it's just different over the phone.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. And I know a lot of people buy a lot of things over the phone. We buy car insurance over the phone. People buy health insurance over the phone. So life insurance over the phone just makes a lot of sense. And with any of those things that we're purchasing over the phone, they're right down to business, right? And there's certain
Right.
things that we expect to have to give people over the phone when we're buying such critical things or necessities as far as insurance is concerned. So it's only awkward if you make it awkward. And things like social bank accounts, things like that are necessary when you're buying any type of insurances over the phone, and life insurance shouldn't be any different or feel any different for the client. So that makes a lot of sense. And
Absolutely.
so, okay.
So go ahead.
No, so also what I've also noticed is that when you're setting appointments this way and you're giving people the options, and how I gave you that objection that I don't feel comfortable giving these pieces of information over the phone. And if somebody else opts to actually not do it over the phone at all because they really don't want to do it or give that information out because it is so sensitive, for them to have the option for you to come into the home. How have you seen as far as your rates or your closing ratios when you're actually going to an appointment after you've gotten that far with them over the phone? So do you feel like your appointments stick better? Are you closing more when you're doing this and kind of, you know, filtering them from the jump on the phone?
Yeah, so the appointment it's almost like they're like when I was just booking appointments initially, it didn't have even with the tie downs, it didn't have as much glue to it. But going through this process and knowing what is going to take place in the appointment, it's almost like they're agreeing to do the policy in person instead of agreeing to do it over the phone. Right? It's no longer even an appointment. It's basically, okay, we'll just come here and then we can do the policy here. You know, and it's funny because I actually had a couple of appointments that ping pong. What I mean by that is they said, well, can we do it over the can we do it in person? And I was like, yeah, we can do it in person. So I started scheduling everything, and then they started talking or whatever, and they said, well, you said this is something that we can do over the phone, right? And I was like, yeah, you have the option. They said, well, I think I would just rather do it over the phone. And they got so comfortable with the fact they got so comfortable with the fact that we could accommodate them, you know, and that we are willing to come out. And she said, well, is Tomball too far for you? I said, well, there's no such thing as too far for me. I mean, I live right here in Houston, so no, it's not far. She was like, okay, well, you can come to the house. And then she was talking and this, and then I started asking a couple of those other questions. I started asking a few of those filtering questions, and she started answering those. And then she decided she wanted to just do it over the phone. You know what I mean? And it was so funny. And I got like 9 appointments between the next 2 days, and most of those are people that decided they want to do it in person. So,
right. So what is that? Okay. So what does the lead flow look like for this? What does the dial day look like for this? And what is your goal when you're doing telesales? Like, what is your goal? Do you set it on an AP goal, or how many people you could actually close as far as the number of policies that you write? So how many dials should we be doing, and what does the lead flow look like, or what leads are you guys buying for that?
So I'm sticking right now. I'm still doing just the CRM leads, and with that, the goal is to be somewhere between 400 and 600 dials per day. You know, and that's with appointments filtered in. And that was one reason why I decided to go ahead and do the phone burner, because 400 dials a day manually and then jotting stuff down is difficult, even if you're just booking appointments, right? Manually. But over phone burner, it takes care of the of the notations for me and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of liking this, but you want to be between 400 and 600. Well, I want to be between 400 and 600 dials a day. And my goal is to get through between 6 and 10 phone appointments today. Right. And if I'm getting between 6 and 10 phone appointments a day, you're still going to get the people that lie to you, just like you get people that lie to you in the house, because liars are liars. Liars don't care whether they're in the phone or in person. You're still going to get the people that stand you up. You're still going to get the people that will kick tires. But if you have 6 to 10 appointments in a day over the phone, then you're going to close between 3 to 6 of those appointments, and then you're going to get better, right? That's just what we do. We just get better.
Okay.
Boy, JB said kick tires.
Yep. And so, okay, so so you're looking every time that you're dialing, you're not really looking to set appointments, right? I know that even in my own experience, setting appointments for somebody to get on a Zoom call or a telesale or something later usually never works, right? So when you're doing this, you're looking for a one call close. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going for the gusto right then and there, and then I'm setting the appointment in person. But as far as a appointment over the phone, I'm not doing that, right? What I'll do is I'll find out. Well, it's an appointment for me, but it's not an appointment for them. I don't tell them appointments, right? I'll say, okay, well, no problem. Like if they say they can't talk now, hey, no problem. Because I was actually just calling to find out when the best time is to call you, when you're normally home from work. And they'll say, oh, well, I normally get home about 5:30. And then I say, okay, well, I actually have a lot of other clients that I'm talking to today. So what I'll do is I'll just give you a call about somewhere between 5:30 and 7:30 tonight. Right.
Gotcha.
And so what that does is that lets I put it on my calendar as call Jessica Stanley at 5:30. Right. But I won't call it an appointment for them, unless it's in person. And then if they don't show up, I'm just dialing anyway,
Right.
But it's like door knocking on steroids, because you're covering a whole lot more people. You know what I mean?
Right. So I'm going to actually open this up now for anybody that may have some questions. I think we've kind of gone through the front to the end part of it as far as how to do a telesale over the phone. Does anybody have any questions for JB?
I got one.
Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah.
So somebody says, yeah, I get off at 5, anytime after that is fine. You say, okay, I'll give you a call sometime after that, right? So you call them about 5:30. Are you triple dialing them, or are you just single dialing them?
When I call them back, or
When you call them back.
Yeah, I'll still triple dial them.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll just put them back on my dial schedule. And I'll dial them from the same number I was dialing from before, and then I'll dial them from a different number. And if they don't answer then they just get back on the follow-up sheet.
Right.
Anybody else have any questions for JB?
Yeah, I have a question. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Person who asks the most questions makes the most money here, okay?
So I wanted to know, I guess, like, let's say maybe you called them and then they call you back like in 30 minutes. Would you take that call and go ahead and talk to them? Since, technically you're like off your call time, and you just called them back, because you had some time and maybe they just missed you. In 30 minutes, they call you back. Will you take that call, or will you wait again?
Oh, no. If they call me back in 30 minutes, it was, if they call me back, yeah, I'm gonna take the call, especially if I like, because what I'll do is I'll save their name and my phone number, So when I see them calling, I know exactly who it is. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's Jesse Jones. Let me go ahead and take this call from Jesse Jones.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
what was my next
when
question. I was gonna say you should probably, yeah.
yeah, I save their information for sure. And then when they call, it's a golden deal. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna answer. And that one time though is always a good thing when they do. You know, like when they answer, it's a really good thing. If they don't answer, then you just gotta call them back and just act like you never talked before, because they probably don't remember you from Adam's House Cat by that time. You know.
Thank you.
So for the new agents that are getting started, especially how their system is run in Phoenix, is everybody just given the same exact option script that you just went over with us? And is that what they're saying when they're dialing? Because you said everybody's kind of doing the exact same thing. So are they using the option script, or is it a different type of straight up nothing but telesales script that they use
So there's two.
Get started?
Yeah, so there's two. There's and it just depends on if someone wants to be hybrid or if they want to be straight telesales. If they want to be straight telesales, then they use a straight virtual script. There's no options there. If they want to do both, then they use an option script. And if they want to be straight in the house, then they just don't even offer the phone, you know? So it just depends on whatever it is they want to do. They'll sit down, they'll learn that. And I think that's really cool because it's not the wild, wild west over there. It's, hey, if you're doing telesales, then this is the script you're going to use. If you're doing hybrid, then this is the script you're going to use. And this is the person, and these are the people that you're going to learn from in that process, you know? They have it like that. So it's real cool.
Do you have access to the straight telesales? Are you able to share that script with us in our channel?
Yeah, it's actually it's in there already, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
if
cool.
it's not, then I'll put.
And one of the things that I will say about being able to do straight telesales too is that like the whole CRM is like your playground, right? So there's so many different hotspots on that map, and for you not to be required to have to travel, to take a travel trip, you know, buy a flight, get a hotel room and a rental car, which is still very effective. People are doing that all the time still to this day. But it's to your advantage to also get licensed in multiple states. And you just do that through NIPR.com, and you're able to just pay a fee to get licensed in the next state. So that way the whole CRM is your playground, really. So that, I think that's pretty cool. But Dre has a question. And then we're we are going to kind of wrap this up here in a little bit, just because I know Brandon ended up running into some issues, but I mean, I've gotten a lot of gold from JB. I hope everybody else has too, but I'm sorry, Dre, go ahead with your question.
I don't necessarily have a question. I work with JB as far as dissecting his script to create our hybrid script. And in that hybrid script, it also gives them the option of doing a straight telesale model. So they have access to both within that script.
Okay, so that's on the drive already for us.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Cool. So all the tools are there, guys. Like you could literally, we have people that are making $35,000, $50,000 a month just straight from the phone at home. Does anybody have any other questions? Otherwise, we're going to kind of wrap this up, and then on another call, we'll see if we could get Brandon back on.
Yeah, I got something.
Go ahead, Ed.
So today I was in the process of tying down an appointment, right? And the phone call was going well. Then out of nowhere, she tells me like, "Why can't we do this over?" Like, she wasn't even frustrated before that, but out of nowhere she's frustrated, and she's saying, "Well, why can't we do this on the phone right now?" And I say, "Well, man, we actually can. It just goes a little bit different, you know. I'll make sure I send you." I kind of jumped into JB's script, and I'm like, so the way that'll work is I'll send you my information first, so you know who I am first. I'll send you my license information, everything, and then I'm gonna require, you know, sensitive information from you, your social, your the banking account information, and then she just, no, we're not doing all that, and just hung up on me. And then in my head, I'm like, well, you're the one that said you want to do it over the phone. Like, you could have just had me come over to the house.
Yeah.
So I don't know. She didn't really leave me an
I
option
mean,
to do anything. She just hung up on me.
yeah, I mean, and you're gonna, I mean, people are gonna be people, you know what I mean? So you're gonna
Mhm.
find people that are gonna waste your time, whatever kind of channel or avenue you give them. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to waste, you don't want to spend a whole lot of time majoring in the minors and focusing on the people that were going to waste your time in whatever way they could, you know. But really the options are there for the people who really want it, but they didn't know, or so, I mean, so they can know that we can actually accommodate them either way. And unfortunately, you know, there's people who are going to waste your time in two ways now, but don't pay attention to those. Don't,
Okay.
if you want to try to figure out why people are like that, I would just tell you, like Jim Rohn said a long time ago, don't take that class, right? Why people
Okay.
waste your time? I wouldn't take that. I really wouldn't sign
Okay.
up for
It
that
just
class.
kind of, it just kind of confused me because it sounded so solid. Like I was already cementing and then she just like went left on me. Like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
but all right, I got it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I encourage
I did see
everybody
that.
to definitely, huh? I'm sorry, JB.
I said I did see that at Brandon. You know, I saw Brandon just jumped on, and so I know he ended up having to pick up his kid. He did was happening tonight. So Brandon, you there?
So just to be respectful of everybody's time for tonight, though, I don't think he's on there. I just looked in the chat. But just to be respectful of everybody's time, we can definitely reschedule and get him back on at a later time. But I mean, you've given us so much, JB, and I appreciate you for being able to kind of steerhead and lead the way and, make a mess of things already yourself and, just kind of learn things through trial and error to be able to share what's really working for you, and to also get those nuggets from Brandon and being able to share that back with us. So I know people, are looking for somebody to tell them exactly what to do, but I will say that the information is already out there for you to be had if you're looking for it. So back to the YouTube University, type in FFL virtual sales, telesales. There's so many people that are training on this subject right now. It is pretty new to FFL and everybody's going through this transition, but there's a lot of people who are doing straight telesales and are very, very successful. And then there's some people who are doing a hybrid system like what JB is doing right now and are very, very successful with it. So you got to just pick and choose, or some people don't choose not to do it at all and just go straight into the home, because you do have a different level of control when you're face to face with people. So I encourage you to do what's going to work for you, what works for your lifestyle and for your family. But whatever way that you want to do it, there's somebody who's already done it and done it at a very, very high level. Just learn exactly what they're doing, copycat it. This is definitely a business where you just want to be the best copycat and cheat, okay? Because it's already there. We figured out what works, what doesn't, to be able to do this on a very high level. So, and it's straight off of the CRM, leads. Oh, hey, Brandon is on right now. But it's already 9:15, and I know it's for the people on the East Coast, it's already 10:15 for you guys. But if anybody is, let's do this, okay? So if you want to stay on here, let's just say for the next 15 minutes, okay? If you want to stay on for the next 15 minutes, can I just see some ones in the chat? Otherwise, we could just reschedule completely. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. Or we could just reschedule. It's up to y'all.
Well, the meeting's also recorded, so we can have him speak tonight, and the ones who kind of missed out, we could kind of send that on the blast email for them to watch.
There's a lot of people who are willing to stay on. Let's just do 15 minutes, guys, real quick. And JB, if you want to take it away with Mr. Brandon. Thanks for jumping on really quick. And JB has already gone through the script, the process of how it's doing. If there's anything that you guys want to talk about or add that you and I didn't already discuss already, JB, so I'll let you take it away.
All right. Hey, Brandon, you there?
Yeah, first of all, man, I want to definitely apologize for the delay, things with the kids and stuff. I do apologize to everyone. I do value everybody's time as well. And, you know, we get through what we can get through tonight. I'll come back next week, you know, if I need to, you know, to make it up. So I do apologize. But man, thank you for, you know, for inviting me on, brother.
Hey, absolutely, man. And I understand about the kids, even though I don't have any, but I do definitely understand how that works, man. So, but yeah, what I definitely want to do is carve out some time when we can actually dig into this like really, really good.
Yeah.
And so if we can come back next week, let's do that. But just real quick, just tell kind of introduce yourself, because I know there's a lot of people who've seen your name and your videos are buzzing and stuff, but I got a chance to meet you. And what's funny is you were the one that actually cemented and everything opened up when I started watching you. And then when I went to Phoenix, like you were the one that opened up and just poured into me more than anybody else did. And it was almost like a fountain. So just, you know, spend a few minutes just kind of talking about who you are, how you got to the point to where, you know, you were doing the telesales and then
I got you. All right. No, thank you, man. You know, for me, with the telesales, this is definitely, you know, something that has definitely changed my life at this time, because I've been here with FFL for 2.5 years. Prior to, you know, insurance, I was a mortgage loan officer with Bank of America. You know, over there writing big, you know, loans, $40 million a year in loans, and they paying me $84,000 a year. Wasn't really making a lot of sense, but got 6 kids. They got to eat. Got to do what I got to do to make sure of that. But it did, you know, got to a point where it was definitely time to, you know, look at making a change, coming up on 40, and just wasn't where I wanted to be in life. So, you know, found, you know, FFL and just jumped all, you know, all in from the start. Walked away from my career and said, you know, I got to make it happen here. So, you know, definitely, you know, thank God every day for Family First Life and the opportunity that I have here. And, you know, with that, you know, it's been all field work for me, you know, from day one. You know, if you would have asked me, I was just telling somebody earlier, you know, if you would have asked me 4 months ago about these phones, I would have been the person telling you that it don't work. It don't work. Don't try it. That would have been me. It don't work. I'm telling you, get in the field. Belly to belly is the best way to do this thing. That would have been my tone. However, you know, my father passed away a little bit over 2 months ago, almost 3 months ago now, and having to deal with his stuff and his affairs and everything, you know, took me out of the field for a couple of weeks. And you know, when you got mortgage protection leads going, you know, they come in whether you ready to work or not. And at $80, $90 a piece, that bank account can drop pretty doggone quick, you know. So I had to find a way to make it work, you know, not knowing that I couldn't go in the field and I need to make it work over the phone. So, you know, with that, you know, I was able to, you know, get my mind right, speak with somebody that was doing it over the phone, kind of see what their mind state was, how they were being successful at it. And they just opened my eyes, you know, to, again, you know, I had blinders on. I had the blinders on at that time in terms of, I remember if I would have had the mind state I have now, I would have hit Hall of Fame last year. Okay, I'm going to hit it this year, but I would have hit it last year if I would have had this mind state, because I did 330 last year, and I probably can recall at least 50 times where somebody asked me, can we do it over the phone? And I said, no, I got to come out there and make sure you're not as big as an elephant and change to the hospital bed. You know what I'm saying? And then they were like, nope, not click. And I never get back on the phone, nothing. I'm telling you. So basically, you know, what opened my eyes was we haven't been listening to people. Like, we haven't been listening to people. We've been imposing our will on people. right? No, I got to come out there to your house and get in your face versus listening to the clients in terms of when they say, hey, can you do it over the phone? Basically, all they were saying was, hey, you can get this deal if you can do it over the phone. That's all he was saying. You can get this deal.
Yeah.
You can get this deal if we can do it over the phone. You know, and I was like, I got to come out there. Right. You know, and so, you know, and so with that, you know, again, we just got to listen to the people, give them what they want. And that's what I was able to come across, you know, with with what I'm doing now. But if we look at why people are okay with doing this thing over the phone, and again, if we don't make it weird, they won't make it weird. Okay. So that's why we got to get our mind right first before we do it. Because if we don't have our mind right, then we make it weird, and then they feel it, and then they like, you might be a scammer. Get out of my phone. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be confident and comfortable with what you're doing, so that you can present the information properly in a manner in which that they're going to receive it, knowing that you're giving it out very genuinely. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what it is. So what you find is the reason why they're okay with doing this stuff is because people are already currently buying car insurance over the phone, homeowners insurance over the phone, health insurance over the phone. They're opening up bank accounts over the phone. They're ordering cars from kiosks that's being delivered on the back of a truck that they never saw before. All right. They're also ordering food from DoorDash and trusting a pure D stranger to deliver their food that they're going to ingest into their body. Right. We all maybe doing a little bit of that, right? And you know, so the fact that they're okay with this because of this pandemic and COVID has really pushed this stuff to the forefront of making people okay with using technology to take care of things, you know, and doing things virtually or not seeing the person that you're dealing with while you're getting it taken care of, right? So with that said, you just got to have your process. So what I'm going to do real quick here is just go through my phone script and what I do on the phone that works for me. And it might work for you, it might not. You might like some of it, you might not. But I'm going to tell you what's working for me. That also just allowed me to write 22 apps this last week for $25,000. So I think it's working, right? And so what I'm doing is basically just getting really good at making the clients feel comfortable that I'm not some scammer looking to take advantage of them. You got to be really open and out front with that stuff on these calls so that you can put them at ease very early on in the process, and things like that, so that they are comfortable when it comes to the nitty gritty, when we talking about, hey, I need that routing and account number. Right? We all know that's the elephant in the room, that routing and that account number, right?
Yeah.
And so we got to have them at ease when we get there, where they're very comfortable with giving that up. Okay. All right. So to take you through it, JB, my phone script, and what I'm doing is I'm dialing to one call close now. I'm no longer dialing to book appointments. Like for me, it just don't make sense. That's just me. Okay. Dialing to book an appointment. If anybody saw Wolf of Wall Street, right? I never saw them call somebody to book an appointment on Wolf of Wall Street. They were calling to close deals, right?
Yes, sir.
They were calling to close deals. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm calling to close deals. So I'm calling the one call close you. Because the fact when I get on the phone, for me to book an appointment with you after I already got you on the phone to get you back on the phone, that's stupid. That's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? For real, it is. I got you on the phone. Let's try to knock it out now. Because if I let you off the phone, I might not get you back again. I know that, so I'm trying to get you now. Right? All right. So I'll jump into the script here. The front of my call is we all know how to call somebody and let them know who we are, why we calling, verify the information. I'm gonna keep it short and skip that. Where my call changes now is my transition takes place after I verify the information. Then I say something like, hey JB, due to the Delta this pandemic and this Delta variant and this new Delta variant, I'm currently servicing my clients 3 ways at this time. Okay, I can either come out there to the property, sit down, we can do this face to face, or we can do it over a Zoom call or via a phone call. Which one of those options work best for you, brother?
Well, mean, I'll take the phone call.
Okay, and that's what 99% of people are choosing. You know, what I did was I knew when I was going to call these people, I needed everybody to choose the phone. I needed as many people to choose the phone and not choose the in-home because I'm 2,100 miles away from my run zone. So I can't go over there and run the appointment. So I need to choose the phone. So that's why I set it up that way. Due to this pandemic and this Delta variant, Jay, I can come out there and sit down in your house and get in your face, or we can do it over Zoom or over the phone. Which one?
Oh, no. I definitely want the phone.
They want that phone. They want me in their face with this Delta out there, right? You know what I'm saying? And so 99% of people are choosing the phone. Nobody has chosen Zoom. I don't do Zooms. I'm not trying to be all weird and they looking at me, I'm looking at them. I'm trying to, look all professional and stuff, trying to straighten myself up, take my hat off, put a collar shirt on, like bump all that. I'm trying to write your policy while I'm laid across my bed on a Sunday morning, watching football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Writing your policy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also directing my kids and when they messing up and telling them, get out here. They don't understand that you're working. You're home and you're like, I'm working. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But if I do that on Zoom, then they're like, well, what's all that movement, right? So I just want the phone call. But, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they're choosing. They're choosing the phone. And now once you choose that phone, I say something like, all right, JB, if we're gonna do this over the phone, that's totally fine. I need to be very transparent with you at this time and 100% honest, as I am with all my clients. Once we find a plan that fits your needs, and most importantly, JB, your budget, we're then gonna be submitting a request for coverage to the insurance company to see if we can get you approved, okay? Now, that is gonna require me to ask you for some very sensitive information at that time, things like your driver's license information, your social security number, and your bank account information. Is that going to be a problem for you, brother?
No, not a problem at all.
Again, that's what I'm getting. Again, people are okay with this. They're okay. They're saying, no, that's not a problem. Yeah, I just bought some homeowners insurance yesterday over the phone. I just got the car insurance. I never meant to do that with State Farm either, so I'm okay. We can do it over the phone, right? And then now what I always do is I make sure that you're all right. I had one person so far tell me something like, I don't know if I'm okay doing it over the phone, because all this scam stuff going on. I said, brother, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Okay, but that's why they give the option for me to come out and go face to face with you as well. But let me help you understand the process over the phone. Before I ask you for any of your very sensitive information, okay, I'm going to be sending you a picture of my badge, my ID, along with my state license. And you can take that, go to the South Carolina Department of Insurance website, go to the lookup box, put that license number in there and verify that I am exactly who I'm supposed to be. And you'll see this little ugly mug up there. Does that make sense? Right? And the one person, when I said that, he was like, yep, that makes sense. If that's the case, we can do it over the phone. I said, okay. Right? Okay. So again, people just don't want to be taken advantage of. They don't want to be scammed. So you got to do a good job of being out in front of that and making sure that you're making them feel comfortable with going through this process, okay, over the phone, and that you're not a scammer, and then they're okay, all right? But now, once you're good at doing that, now my transition now is to get you to try to do it right now, okay? Because again, I don't want to book an appointment to get you back on the phone, so I'm saying something like, all right, JB, man, brother, it takes about 15, 20 minutes to get this process completed. I got about 40 minutes before my next appointment. You got about 15, 20 minutes now. We can go ahead and knock it out now. Yeah. Most people are saying, yeah. Why are they saying yeah? Because he answered the phone. If he answered the phone, he got some time. Yeah. He ain't answer the phone if he ain't got no time, right? So he answered the phone, he got time. The only reason I'm gonna book an appointment is if he says, if it's a mortgage protection lead and he's saying his wife ain't with him. His wife, oh, she at work and I'm here chilling. Okay, so when be a good time where I can get both of you back on the phone and we can get on speakerphone together and knock this thing out. Now I'll book the appointment, or he's at work and he can't do it right now. Now I'll book the appointment. But I'm trying to one call close him and get him to move right now, right? Okay, but I'll book the appointment. If I book the appointment, I'm gonna definitely tie that joker down. Get real good at tying those appointments down. Whether you're going in home or you over the phone, I use a triple tie down format anytime I book an appointment to minimize my no shows. But that's making them write that appointment down, making them write that information, your name, license number, and I use a discount code. Okay, for all my clients, I give them a discount code. They get my name, they get my license number, and then I say, hey JB, I also got this discount code here for you that I just generated. It's going to allow me to lock the rates for you up until the appointment. Let me get that to you as well. I want to make sure that you get the best rates at this time, brother. I got you, right? And then I give them a little, hey, M as in Mary 7780. It don't matter. Give them anything. It don't matter. It ain't good for nothing. But they don't know that. And am I lying when I talk about discounts? Do we have specific discounts? No. But are our rates discounted? Yes. If a client buy from us or go directly to America or Mutual of Omaha, they're gonna get a higher price directly through them versus going through us, because we bring a lot of money to America, so we get to play a price. We get the discounted rate versus somebody coming direct to them. Okay, so now, with that said, now that you're okay, we're gonna get it done right now. I'm just jumping right into the appointment. I'm not trying to do a whole in-home like we would do in the house, because you got very short time and people's attention span is very short over the phone. So you got to get them off your phone from that point within the next 25, 30 minutes before you lose them. So I jump right into, after that, I say something like, hey, JB, at this time, if you don't mind, can I have you state your full name for me over the recorded line?
Joseph Bradley.
All right. And the reason I do that is because people are used to doing that when they call businesses and stuff. And that, again, just makes them even more comfortable. Now, my lines are recorded, so hopefully you're dialing through Phone Burner, Central, something like that, that's recording your calls. So my lines are recorded, so I'm not lying to them when I tell them that. But when they hear that, now they even get more comfortable. Oh yeah, everything's recorded. Oh yeah, okay, so this is gonna be good. Yeah, right. And then now I jump right into, hey, all right, so establishing the why. Don't do nothing without establishing that why. Okay, you got to dig into that why. Make sure that that you paint that picture and getting them greased up for everything that's coming later, right? You know what I'm saying? But once you get that why, then I move to to qualify them. So to qualify them, I'm not reading all these things off the form, off your inventory form. I'm using Cliff Notes. Your appointment over the phone should be like Cliff Notes. Not the whole Shakespeare, but the Cliff Notes, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, JB, on a scale from 1 to 5, brother, with 5 being great, how would you rate your health at this time?
I would say about a 3.5, 4.
Okay, and why would you rate it there? What kind of issues? What kind of medications, brother?
Well, I'm taking some pills for cholesterol right now, and
okay,
got high blood pressure. Yeah.
Okay. So that for the high blood pressure, what they got you on? Losartan, amlodipine, lisinopril, hydrochlorothiazide. Which one?
Hydrochlorothiazide. Yeah.
Yep.
I was taking lisinopril, but now I'm taking hydrochlorothiazide. Yeah.
Yeah, probably lisinopril probably was making your lips swell up. That's what it do to us. That's what you put up hydrochlorothiazide. Yeah, I know that. So I always throw that out there, right? And then with the cholesterol, which one of those statins, brother? Okay, so let's just say he said atorvastatin. Now, with him saying that, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make him feel good about himself. So I come back and I said, JB, hey man, let you in on a little something, brother. You really, man, you about a 4.5, brother. You're not no 4, no 3.5. You about a 4.5. Okay, all right, you about a 4.5. I build them up. Make them feel good about themselves. I'm telling you, I'm greasing them up for the bank account information at the end. I need, I want him to know that, hey, this brother's on my side. He gets me. You know what I'm saying? All of that, but I like to, toss them up a little bit, make sure they know you're not a 3.5, you about a 4.5. You good, okay? All right, but now with that, I'm already thinking ding, 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 Americo CBO, right? So now I gotta present the product to them that I want to offer. So I'm saying, hey, at this time, Theo, man, JB, looks like you might qualify for one of the top carriers in the program, company by the name of Americo. They're out of Kansas City, Missouri. You probably never heard of them before, I assume. And that's okay, because I've never heard of them either prior to getting into insurance, over 2.5 years ago. And the reason that is, brother, is because they spend $0 a year on advertisement. Okay, they do not advertise at all. So the fact that they're not paying Patrick Mahomes, Chris Paul, and Aaron Rodgers, to do commercials, $300 million a year, that allows them to offer great benefits at great pricing to their clients. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
All right. So, hey, what I want to do, man, I'm going to shoot this email over to you. I'm going to email the brochure over to you. And I have all the brochures saved on my MacBook. I'm going to shoot the email over to you with the brochure. That way you can take a look at these benefits while I go through them with you. Bam, shoot them the email. Now what I'm finding is they're getting more and more comfortable, because you're getting these different little contacts from me, right? Because I sent you my license, my ID and my license earlier through text message. I text that over, okay? I sent that through text message. Now I'm sending you an email with the brochures. Now they got 2 different forms of contact from me. They're really feeling good. Oh man, this is real and this is okay, right? With all this different contact. Now I go through the benefits with you. I'm not going to waste time there. We all know the benefits there. Go through the benefits. Now, JB, any questions about the benefits that I've laid out for you at this time?
No, it's perfect, man.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, now let's take a look and see what we can get for you. So now we got to transition now to showing options. So I'm not going to be, writing down 3 options like we would in the house and present them. I can't do that over the phone. But what I want to do is I want to present my options in a way that's going to allow him to keep choosing things at this time. Because like I said, from the beginning of the call, he's been able to choose everything we did today. And I'm going to keep that going at this time. I'm going to keep letting him choose stuff. I let him choose how we're going to do the appointment. I also let him choose when we're going to do the appointment. Now I'm going to let him choose how much money he wants to spend. So I say something like, all right, JB, you know your budget better than me, brother. All right. And I'm not looking to put you in anything that's going to have you cringing every month when it's time for that payment to come out. Okay. It's got to be affordable. It's got to be comfortable. Okay. Not only today, but tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and the following year after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense. Okay. All right. So with that being said, brother, to put some great protection in place for you and your family today, what's going to fit comfortably in your budget this time? Are you looking to be between $50 and $80 a month, $80 and $120 a month, or $120 and $200 a month? Which one of those ranges best fit your budget at this time?
I like say 80 to 120.
Bing, bing, bing. They always pick the one in the middle, just like they do in the house. They pick the one in the middle, right? So now I got them right where I want them, because all I'm trying to do is every deal over the phone, I'm trying to close about at least 1,000 to 1,200 AP. That's all I want. 1,000 to 1,200 AP. I'll take the 2,000, 3,000 when they come, because they will come. But I'm just looking for the 1,000 to 1,200, right? And so now I know where he wants to be. He wants to be between 80 and 120. So now I'm already doing some quotes here. Now I can come back and say, all right, JB, man. So to get some, it's like at this time, with this particular plan to be where you want to be, budget wise, it's like we can get $170,000 of coverage. It's going to be right at $126.13 a month. How does that sound?
Yeah, I could do that. I could definitely do that.
All right, you sure? It's about $6 more outside your range where you want it to be. You sure that's going to be comfortable? That's not going to cause any hiccups down the road?
No, $6 ain't gonna be nothing. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, and I'm sure, brother. Like I'm telling you, my whole thing is I'm not trying to hurt you. So I'm saying next week you blow 2 tires on the way to work, and you get home and the hot water heater on explode. You ain't gonna need to be canceling this life insurance policy, are you?
No. This is good.
Okay. Again, brother, I just want to make sure, because again, the last thing I need to do is, month from now, 2 months from now, I get an email from the carrier saying that you done canceled the policy. Now I got my boss breathing fire down my back like a dragon, because he know that you didn't cancel that policy because you didn't love your family, JB. He gonna know that you canceled it because I oversold you. So I just want to make sure that this is going to be very comfortable for you, and it's going to be able to stay in place and be there for your family when they need it the most. So you sure that this is going to be comfortable?
Yeah, I can do it for sure.
Okay, all right. I'm telling you, like I'm grilling them like that And it's the reason why I do that. Because again, I'm trying to make this thing stick. I'm trying to make it stick, and so now I can say something like, all right, JB, so man, we pretty much about done now, brother. We just got to complete this application process now. It'll take about 10, 15 more minutes. There can be a couple of signature process going on as well. I'll see you a couple of emails. You're going to sign right on your smartphone. And we'll have the process done in about 10, 15 minutes. And I'll have you back to your day, brother. How's that sound?
That sounds perfect. I appreciate your help.
All right, bam. And now we're just into the application. And it's a done deal from there. I mean, that's all I'm doing. And like I said, I was scared of this stuff because I heard persistency with phone sales was very bad. That's what I heard. That what I heard. That it was very bad. But from what I found out, and after talking, Sean Mike found out as well, is that that's not the case. Especially the way that I do it. It's gonna be very hard for JB to say that he can't afford this down the road when he chose it. You know what I'm saying? I did not push nothing down. He chose it. He chose that price. Now he gotta say he lied to himself, right? That it was something he couldn't afford. And so with that being said, in the last 10 weeks of me doing this, and people saying like, are you lying? I'm like, I'm not lying. I have nothing to lie about. And but I've had 3 cancellations in the last 10 weeks working over the phone.
Yeah.
I used to get
gold right there.
I used to get 3 a week. Because I write 10, 14 policies a week in the field. I get 2, 3 cancellations a week. They cancel after I leave the house. I don't put them in for 300 tomorrow. They cancel the damn thing. I'm like, what the hell? But in the house, sometimes you might push a little bit more than what you can do over the phone. And the other thing is, over the phone, people, if they don't want the insurance, they can hang up on you over the phone. But when you're in the house, they might just buy it just to get you out. You know what I'm saying? It's not as easy for them to get you out the house. They just buy it to get you out the house. But over the phone, they can't hang up on you. I mean, they can just hang up on you if they don't want it. So you're only looking to work with the people that are serious. You know what I'm saying? The people that are really serious about getting insurance. And like Trey Honeycutt always said, you can't say the wrong thing to the right people. So you get the right people on the phone. They're ready to buy insurance. You get them service, and then you move on to the next one. And sorry, I know it went over a little bit, but man, I apologize, for being late, on the call tonight. But definitely just wanted to knock this out for y'all. Any questions real quick?
Man,
No, man, that was gold, Brandon. Thank you so much. Just in that last 15 minutes, you spilled a lot of nuggets right there. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Can we get a copy of that script?
Look, this call is being recorded. We're definitely playing them back over and over.
Yeah, I need
it. And I got some videos out there, and they're all going to sound the same because this is exactly what I do. I don't hold nothing back. I'm not trying to hide nothing from anybody. This is exactly what I do. It might work for you. It might not. You can take some of it, leave some of it. It's up to you. But it's what I do and what works for me. I don't have a script because I've never been the type of person to write stuff down. I was that kid in school that was paying girls with candy to write my papers and stuff like that. I've just never been a writer. So, but I'll make videos and present it all day long. And I'll just say, just watch it, man. Make it your own. The biggest thing about the phone, man, just be yourself. I promise you. Don't be on the phone trying to be some corporate person like somebody's listening to you and they might come fire you if you say the wrong thing. When I'm on the phone with people, I'm a chameleon. If they curse, I curse. Yeah. They start cursing, I'd be like, shit, oh yeah, god damn it. Yeah, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a chameleon. I'm just me. Meet people where they at, like Sean Mike always say, and be yourself. And people will feel that you're being genuine and they'll let you help. I promise you they'll let you help.
Yeah. Man, that's gold. And I really appreciate you taking out your time, Brandon. And we definitely want to have you back on because there's a lot, we can go a lot deeper into it than what you just did. And so probably not next Thursday, because I think next Thursday is Thanksgiving, but the next Thursday that we have, if we can get on and kind of go into it deeper, because I know a lot of people have questions. But I think that'll be real good because you dispelled a lot of myths, a whole lot of myths, and what what we spent, the time we spent together just the last couple of days, man, I'm telling you, it's gone through the roof for me, right? And even
Yeah.
today, just dialing my old my leads that were back from when Jesus was in the second grade, man, and the responses I was getting just from using the stuff that we had, it made a big difference, man. So so let's plan on getting back together. Like I said, probably not next week because that's Thanksgiving. Everybody gonna be eating
Yeah,
that
that's
bad
fine. A
food.
couple
But
weeks.
the next
Just let me know. I'll make sure I'm on time, and you know we can dig deep into it, because I know you and I spent some time and we talked about some things that I wasn't able to go over tonight. So you know, we'll definitely dig into that as well.
Yeah, but we appreciate you so much, man. Like for real. Like for real. And I feel like you my brother, man. And you know how to pick a football
Yes, sir.
team too. So that's
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go Niners,
all right.
baby.
Yes, sir. Go Niners.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Hey, y'all have a blessed evening. Again, I apologize, for being late. I would definitely respect everybody's time. Look forward to being back on and answering any questions that y'all have.
Great. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.